Mark.
It's now time to talk Musketeer hockey. This is the Sioux City Musketeers go-to show. For the next hour, we talk Musketeer hockey with head coach Luke Strand. Now here's your host, Curtis Anderson.
The Musketeer Coaches Show is right here at Bob Rose Point After. It's where good times gather. It's also brought to you by Knife River and Sioux City Ford. Curtis Anderson with you. And assistant coach with the Sioux City Musketeers is Ryan Durocher. He is with me. Luke is driving, doing a little taxi cab work to the airport.
He is.
Yeah, but this is going to be a little easier. I'll just throw that out because I know you deal with Jake on a regular basis in between periods. Much easier.
Yeah.
But a little more grueling questions. So, the Musketeers right now, after another terrific victory on Sunday, now 26-22, 5-2. That's good for 59 points on the season and a 3-point lead, over the Omaha Lancers. And down the stretch we come right now because just a handful of games. What do we got? We got 7 or 8? 7 games remaining in the regular season. A very tough schedule, but things are going well right now, but holy challenge.
For sure. Yeah. The last 7 games here are all against playoff-bound teams, so it's a good test for us. I believe not only are they playoff-bound, but I think they're all top 3 in the division. So, it'll definitely be a good test for our group, but it really couldn't happen at a better time. Coming off winning 4 of our last 5 has been good for us.
It has been good. You guys have really been playing very good hockey. We'll start off with as crucial of game as possible. You played the Omaha Lancers, a team that was chasing you. That was a crucial game at their place. The performance, I thought, was one of your best performances in a while up to that date.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we really focused going into that game on how they were going to play and how they play a little different style than some teams that we have played, where they flip pucks to the neutral zone and go glassing out. So, throughout last week, we just made sure that we had a game plan going in to prepare for that, and with their goaltending and the way that they play, we knew it was going to be a close scoring game, whether it was 2-1 or 3-2, and we just wanted to make sure that we were going to be on the right side of that score. And to the guys' credit, they stuck with the game plan, and at times wasn't the most beautiful of games, but we were able to stick with it till the end and get the victory there.
I think you guys controlled it, though. I mean, you really were in control of all phases outside of maybe some power play type scenarios. That's how they did get on the board, obviously, late on it. But the one thing about it was scary, though, Coach, was you guys are really playing good hockey, but only a scoreless and then up 1-0 when you guys are controlled, when the ice is really tilting in your favor and only have a 1-goal lead.
For sure, and I think that's kind of the way they play with the goalie that they have with Schmid there. He stops a lot of pucks and they pack it in and they'll give up those shots. They do. And, you feel like you have all the momentum and then, maybe they do flip a puck and they get a rush and it bounces over your stick. And that's how they beat some pretty good teams in our division. So there's definitely a method for what they're trying to do, and, it's worked for them.
How do you like that? Assist as a terrific shot by Matt Miller to get you on board 1-0, but the assist to Steinmetz, that's taking it for the team because he just got crunched as he let that thing go.
Yeah, absolutely. We tried to play faster. We got the puck up quick, and he was able to shield. I believe it was actually Mitchell there between the puck and himself, and he took a pretty big hit, but he was able to chip it by Mitchell to create a 2-on-1, which we know they don't give up a ton of those. And then obviously Miller with a great shot. I believe it was far glove just over his pad. So that was a good start for us.
Had other opportunities. They tie it up, and then you got Bobby Brink that did not miss. That was a terrific finish.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of the start of his weekend. So that was a great shot as well. And when you get him in that spot right there, he seems to find it a lot. And I believe that shot actually kind of had a little bit of seeing eyes where it made its way through.
Some pads and everything else.
Yep.
Get the win, huge win, get you up by 3 points. And then you go into Saturday. This is going to be the extra game for you. Sioux Falls. What is it about Sioux Falls that either takes you off your game? I don't know. When you guys looked at film, was it that you didn't play well, they played well? They have got your number.
Yeah, I think, when you look back at that game too, I believe it was 2-2 after the first period, and we weren't playing, all that great or on our game. But when you play a team that has four lines that can skate and they have skill, it just seems like when you make that one mistake, it ends up in the back of your net. And I can think of a couple that took place in the game, and they're a tough team to play from behind against because they do play well. They have those D that are so mobile and are able to move pucks up quick. And I think it's just, for us, we got to just try and find a way to, to play ahead for an extended period of time against them.
Yeah, and I could look at all the goals you gave up in the game. There was probably something in that time frame that maybe a turnover here or a clearing attempt that could have happened, or let's just put it a funny bounce, because two of them, one they kept it in, you guys could have cleared it, that last one, and then it finds its way to the guy in front of the net on his tape. The power play goal was a shot attempt that found its way to the tape.
Back post.
But I guess they were in the right position at the right time, too.
For sure, yeah. I mean, like you mentioned, the one off the stanchion there, not a lot you can do.
And that one's another one. Give me a break,
The guy's wide open in front, and we have nobody in the zone. So, that's tough. And then, like you said, the guy fans on it, but they've got a guy back door, and it's a wide open net. So, against a team like that, like I said, they have four lines that can really, they can score. You look at their even strength goals, it's pretty even throughout the lineup. Yeah. And you make a mistake against a team with that talent, it just more often than not seems to find the back of the net.
Nielsen, Boyer, Brink get the goals in that one. It was a helpful hop for Nielsen, obviously, and then Bobby Brink. What did they even review on that one? That he tried to kick it in, or did it go across the line? I can't even remember. They sat and reviewed that one for some reason.
I think they wanted goalie interference because he went into the net with the puck, and the goalie got up and had some things to say to the ref, so that's what I thought that it was.
Goalie interference? He's the one who scored. It's not goalie. I can never figure out goalie interference. Maybe it was a kick.
They didn't really say. They just came over and said, we're going to review it because we're going to review it.
Yeah, he got taken down, and he went skates first. Mm-hmm. Yeah, things just drive me nuts sometimes. Anyways, it was a loss. Had to push that aside. What did you guys say going into that Fargo game then Sunday?
The biggest thing I thought, and we talked about as a staff, was just making sure that we were rested. That day we came back and basically just told the guys, get the sleep that you need tonight, and then we'll focus when you come in before the game. We didn't have them come in that morning. They came in a little bit later, and we said, hey, we've played this team, I think, what is it, eight or nine times, whatever it was.
This was number 9. You got number 10 coming up.
Yeah, that's right. So, we talked about them a little bit. We looked at what they had for a lineup, like they were depleted a little bit with some sickness, and the guys were confident because we had worked really hard during the week in practice on just staying above the puck, and if we played the right way, we knew that we could win. And to their credit again, like they didn't really falter from that loss Saturday night. They came back and they were positive, and it seemed to work out for us. We came out pretty hot, so that was good, and that's not always the easiest thing to do at the end of a 3-3.
It's things I didn't see on Saturday, I saw on Sunday. 50-50 battles, you won them. Extra taking a hit or throwing a hit or something to that fact. It just seemed like everyone was in a more desperate mode.
For sure, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So, and for the guys to come home too after a bit of travel over the last 2 or 3 weeks here, I think it was nice. We haven't even been practicing there. So for them to get into that, get back in our building in the Tyson and, have a familiar opponent, I think goes a long way for our group too, for as far as, just the excitement to get back out there and maybe find some energy that maybe you don't have at the end of the 3-3.
Well, it looked like maybe Pospisil, Brink, and Kelly, it's taken a little time. They're back together, yes, but it takes a little time. They were on their game knowing where each other were pretty darn good.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at that the goal that Paas scored, Brink to Paas,
It's a
Brink
terrific
back
shot,
to Paas, and I believe Paas had a 4-point night and the other two had 3-point nights. So
Paas should have had a 5-point night if he would have taken care of that empty netter the proper way.
Oh, that's a good point.
He could have had a Hattie, and he kind of played it more like he was looking for. He always looks for someone to pass to.
Yeah, he is.
Take the shot, man.
He's definitely likes to look to make that pass, but
yeah. Nonetheless, it was an interesting game. In Sioux City had to kill off 8 power plays. And this is just what I've said about it, especially when it's game 9 of the series. My question is, why on earth are there not 2 referees involved? Because it's such a physical game. It's so many, and I'm not putting down this young man who's doing the referee. He just can't go around every corner. I mean, there's a lot missed one way or the other because he's only one guy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a Sunday. Come on,
Well, like you said, it's game 8 against that team, and they've been pretty physical. I can't think of really one game.
How many times are elbows going to heads in that game? Yeah. And I want to say credit is the fact that you guys are shorthanded because of those high hits, and you're hitting back.
Yeah,
and you only can see so much.
Yep. No,
it was kind of frustrating that way, and I think both staffs were a little frustrated.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some interesting things going on there, and there was a time where you could have said, we could have let it get away from us a little bit, but I thought it was pretty impressive of the guys to kind of keep their composure, and were able to kill off some penalties.
5 on 3,
and then again be able to actually poke in another goal or two after kind of that spree of kills there. So.
Yeah, you finish off nice, and that was getting those goals at Fordo. Great, terrific shot. We'll talk with him coming up. And then Marcus at the end, and that's going until the whistle blows, and he scores that one, finding the puck behind the goalie.
Yep, for sure, and that's good for him. We needed, I think when that line goes, we kind of go, and Marcus is obviously a big part of that. He scores a lot of goals for us, but when he's scoring, he's more confident. And I thought he had a pretty solid weekend all around. And then, for him to be able to score that goal is big for us moving forward too, and that line. So.
Well, the line has a lot to do with accolades. Bobby Brink is forward of the week, which was terrific. And then on the other side, the D were healthy, and Cross did a terrific job. And they kind of go hand in hand. D play well, and your goalie plays well. Those things happen. And then if your teammate's doing well up front, you get the accolades, and you got 2 accolades this week.
Yeah, for sure. And it almost seems like when those when that line is when they're clicking, one of them seems to be in contention for that award, or maybe even a couple of them a few times this year. So, and then as far as Crosby goes, I mean, I think it's huge for him. This is
what did he have, like 940 save percentage
on the weekend? Yeah, and I mean that's great for him and for us going forward, because it's this is the time of year where we need him to be confident, and we need him to make those big saves and kind of take control of the team. So, for him to have some success this weekend and get away with 2 wins is feather in his cap going forward.
Friday, Tri-City. Saturday, Tri-City. Sunday, that Fargo team that's been a heck of a series. And then Tuesday at Waterloo. I mean, could you choose anything tougher?
No, I think that's the gauntlet.
Maybe
right
that
there.
under 18 team right now.
Want to throw them in an exhibition?
Yeah, why not? Just for giggles,
Yeah, it's going to be 4 tough games. It's a heck of a test, especially with the position that we're in, and we're happy because we do have everybody back, and we're starting to kind of put that puzzle back together with the chemistry that we had prior to all the injuries and the guys leaving. So I think it's an exciting test for our group, and just we want to be mentioned in the top teams in the league, and that's what we've got coming up for us. So.
Well, it's home, and then road on Tuesday. So I tell you what, let's take a break. You can have some pizza. The pizza's going to be perfect. These guys are going to be cold by the time they're done talking with me. So we'll take this break. We're at Bob Rose Point after the Musketeer Coaches Show on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS.
This is the Sioux City Musketeers Coaches Show. Now here's your host, Curtis Anderson.
Musketeer Coaches Show is right here on Fox Sports Radio 620 KMNS, and it's brought to you by Bob Rose Point After. That's where good times gather. Also brought to you by Knife River and Sioux City Ford. With us now is a couple of leaders on the team. They both have had C's on their sweater. It's the crazy thing about it. Luke Johnson, who has missed the most games of the season of any Musketeer, and that's saying a lot. He's the team captain. Parker Ford, who might not have missed any games except for, Junior A maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. That was it?
Yep.
Yeah. Pays to stay healthy.
He just hit 100 Saturday night.
100 games?
Yep.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So you're going to go for 180 games then, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Come back next year. I'm always petitioning those kind of things. Anyways, let's talk. How many total games you get? You missed like 22.
I have no idea.
I did the math one time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of games.
I don't know, it's
You
too
missed
many.
like a third of the season.
Yeah.
World Junior A Challenge is one thing, but then lower body. Okay, that's right, because you're a bruiser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't need
Big player.
That was you suspended for 3 games.
2
games.
and missed 5 for the World Junior A thing.
Yeah.
And then
Lower body.
I don't know how many for the junior.
That obviously those things happen. World Junior A Challenge, that kind of stuff. But the lower body, where it was projected up at least 6 weeks, it took longer. How frustrating is that?
Yeah, that was tough because obviously we were coming back right after Christmas break, and I was excited to come back and play with the team, and played like 5 or 6 games, and then got hurt in Sioux Falls. So it was like 6 to 8 weeks, no surgery, which is unreal actually. But yeah, it's just kind of a tough thing to rehab from.
It was. What did you heard that half the team was getting injured, so you thought you'd be a team player, or what?
Bobby had just fractured his ankle or whatever he did. And
Brownsy.
About 2 weeks later, I did that. Brownsy got hurt. Yeah.
Name that player that didn't get hurt.
Yeah, seriously.
Bedoli thought he'd come play for the team and then decided not to for about a month.
Yeah. That was nuts.
Yes. How do you feel?
Do
you worry about it?
I mean, this last weekend they kind of monitored my minutes. Just like when I got up 4-0, I didn't really play in the second. So. But it's been good. This weekend it felt really good. So
I noticed I was peeking down there at times. I hadn't seen you out on a shift, and I'm like going, oh, great.
Yeah,
Here we go.
My parents were there Sunday night, and my mom was freaking out. But I looked back and I gave her a thumbs up. So.
You think you're 100% or close to it?
Yeah, I mean, probably as close as I will this deep into the season. So got to go get a massage at aromatherapy. That should feel good. So,
well,
better.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Is that the perks of having a captain on your jersey, or what?
Yeah.
Parker, you had to take over as top leader and get the C because your captain went and got hurt. Yeah. How was that, and what was? Tell me the differences between maybe being assistant captain and captain. Same thing.
I wouldn't say it's the same thing, but yeah, with Johns being out, it was tough. I mean, he's kind of a little bit more vocal than me in the locker room, and I think guys know that. But yeah, like I said, having the A is different than having the C. I mean, guys kind of are looking up to you, and it's just a bigger role, really. And
you like the A better?
The real captain's Luke, so.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering, is it less stressful?
I wouldn't say less stressful. I just think the way the players and the coaches picked the captains, it was well picked, and I think the way it is now is perfect.
How comfortable are you now that everything's kind of settled with these guys coming back?
Yeah, it's nice for sure. I mean, we have pretty much our full roster.
It's kind of 4 lines all buzzing out there. It's like we're dancing on the ice almost, but it's good, especially the POS line. They're going right now, and then the second, third, and fourth line, we're all kind of buzzing. So,
Well, speaking with Luke Johnson and now Parker Ford, we're talking Musketeer hockey. Parker, who didn't you play with on the season? I mean, it pretty much centered Brink, Kelly and Kelly, centered Pospisil, even over on that side. You got Boyer, McCabe this last time. Steiny Miller. They're all different types.
Yeah, I'd say I've played a lot of roles on the team. I've been like the first line center. I played a little bit of wing too, and it's kind of whatever it takes to get the job done, I guess.
Has it been really tough for both of you guys to see that, maybe if you guys were healthy, you would be in a much better place?
Yeah, I mean,
standing-wise?
Like when we left for that World Junior A thing, I think were we first in the West?
You had 4 losses. I think you were like 12 or 13.
We were undefeated in November, and then we left like end of November. So, I mean, we were super excited about – we still are super excited about the team, but just, a lot of injuries is something that can derail a team, but like now we're back on it, so we've been playing well this last couple weeks.
Parker, do you play different when you're between, say, Brink and Kelly or something like that than you do, say, this last week with Boyer and McCabe?
I think I'd try to play the same no matter what.
I think you get cross-checked more this way, though.
I think you're out there for different situations, and you're out there against different matchups. So, say when you're with Bobby and Marcus, you're probably against like the best defensive line on the other team. So, but yeah, obviously I'm gonna play the same way and try to be greasy and create offense.
I believe you had to define what that greasy meant on the ice now, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think that defines your game, isn't it? Mostly is you're going to go in and you're taking a puck, and you're going to keep the puck. And if you have to take a butt end of the stick to the head, you're keeping the puck. Is that kind of where you're at?
Yeah, a guy I model my game after is Brendan Gallagher on the Montreal Canadiens, and he's kind of like a little rat out there, just kind of doing the dirty work and getting the pucks, and I really like playing like that. So,
well, it means you can play in all parts of the game. You're not in the forward zone; you're playing all 3 zones, correct?
Yeah.
In the National League.
That's rumored.
Yeah.
Johns, have you improved? And I know you missed games. Have you seen a lot of improvement in your individual game this year than you were, say, this time last year?
Yeah, for sure.
What areas have you worked on mostly, I guess? And what areas have you seen?
I think just offense this year I've been a lot better. Stuff like that. Our play's been really hot lately, and just always your skating can get better. And I think that's one of the things that makes me who I am, is my skating. So
calmness. I always say calm. It's like you wait until these guys just kind of float away from anything. Just kind of.
He's like Roman Yossi out there.
If you can dictate the play, you're obviously going to play a lot better than if you're getting dictated. Like if you're reacting to what someone else is doing. So just being one step ahead is always kind of something I try to do.
Parker, on the same aspect, I know you started with injuries. You had the bug here right out of the gate. What have you seen improvement on yourself?
I'd say confidence is one thing. I'm playing a bit more this year. But yeah, just like Luke said, the calmness on the ice and just knowing the situation, and just being good in all situations. And offensive ability will come with that. So,
explain what you said. Okay, you had 3 guys. You guys had 3 different teams, 3 different styles: Omaha, Sioux Falls, and Fargo. You had to play your game, obviously, all three times. What do you see in these teams? Obviously Sunday was very physical. You expected that, correct? Let's start with that one.
Fargo's always a pretty heavy team. They were really heavy last year, and they've got that top line that's obviously really good. Benny Myers, Crone, and then Josh Nodler was out, but he's pretty good.
The other kid was in there pretty decent.
Yeah,
Davidson kid.
He's pretty good. Yeah, but I don't know. Like they've got one line that's really good, and then a lot of guys are just really hard to play against. So they're kind of a
It's
different
chippy
style.
every time you play them.
Yeah, I mean they're always just kind of a hard-nosed team. Just how they play, but
And is it tougher to play Omaha as a defenseman or a forward, I guess, if you guys kind of put your heads together because of their style? They grab puck, chuck puck, hope the D bobbles it, and then goes.
Yeah, I think it's tough for the defensemen just because they have pucks flying at them the whole game pretty much.
They want them to make a mistake.
Yeah, and as a forward, we really put it upon ourselves to get back and stay over the puck because if all three forwards are working hard getting back, then they can't really do anything. So
it just suffocates them basically.
Yeah.
You guys played a terrific game in that one.
Yeah.
What is it about Sioux Falls, guys?
I think just their depth. They're really just a really deep team. Like all four of their lines are a threat to score at all times. So, and their defensemen are pretty solid too. So,
are they the toughest matchup you've seen so far? I mean, I can look at records and stuff like that. I think at times you play your game to them, you're a better team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're definitely one of the hardest teams to play against, like them in Tri-City.
Tri-City, they're different types of teams, though.
Yeah. I think Sioux Falls is more talented. They have more skilled players.
Faster, maybe?
Yeah, they got some speed. I don't know. I think Tri-City just really works hard. And,
really good goalie.
Yeah, their goalie is unreal. But yeah.
Come Friday, Saturday, now I lift it back now. Is it important to have your forwards play? Everybody has to play their best games, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Is it more challenging for the forwards than D coming up on Friday, Saturday because they don't allow much offensively?
Yeah, I wouldn't say one like forward or D it's tougher, but just the way they play, it's really sound, and we just have to be really hard on defense and hopefully capitalize on our offense. So.
About D, what do you have to concentrate on Tri-City? And I know you'll probably look at more film, but you've seen them already.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of they've got a lot of offensive Ds like Ronnie Adder, Zach Jones, Kesser's really offensive too. But you just kind of have to be aware of guys joining the rush late that you might not see at another team like Omaha or something.
Layers.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, different reads that you see. And obviously they've got a lot of skilled forwards too. So.
How deep is this team now? It has to feel really strange. I mean, strange for you to play, but Parker, I mean, we're talking four lines that can play against a lot of lines out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, all four lines are kind of going right now. I don't think any team in the league can really match up against at least our top three. I mean,
I mean, you're strong against their strong.
Yeah.
You should have the upper end. How tough is it for you guys? It comes down to this. With the health of this team, there's guys that are going to be healthy scratches, which is completely strange this year because you just never had it. How do you deal with that? Because that's tough on these guys that have been a big part of the team, but maybe are a little younger or what have you right now.
I mean, it kind of sucks, obviously, to see. I mean, our team's really tight this year, and I mean, no one ever wants to see a guy do that, but that's kind of a good thing to have internal competition on our team, that you have some good players that are sitting out. So it's a good thing to have.
It's a strange thing to have.
I know. It's
yeah.
I mean, these guys have had ice, let's say, and they're going to how challenging is practicing?
Yeah, it's really competitive. I mean, usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays are kind of our compete days, and guys want to play, so those lower guys, they're trying to find ice time, but it's really good for the whole team.
All right, so I asked you guys about the NCAA tournament. You follow Providence only, and is that the only thing you're going to cheer for, or what? Are you going to cheer for any Minnesota teams, even though because you grew up in Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, I have some friends that are playing in the tournament that are on Minnesota teams, and I mean, I'll cheer for those guys. But
Providence is it?
Yeah.
You're full board Providence?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Would you admit what team you cheered for before you guys committed to Providence?
I mean, that's like his hometown team that he cheered for. But I mean, growing up, just about every kid living in Minneapolis area goes to Gopher games. And,
Is it Gophers always still
Yeah.
up there?
well,
I mean, everyone else has evened up over the last 10 years or so, you know?
yeah, I mean, it's just because I live so close. Like, kids from up north usually go to St. Cloud State games or
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota Duluth. So, I mean, it kind of just depends where you're from, I guess.
Well, being Edina, I'm here right in the cities.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like 10 minutes away. So.
it's not far from Mankato or anything.
No, it's about an hour.
Did you look at Minnesota schools?
The only one I really talked to was Minnesota State, Mankato.
Mhm.
So the other three I never really talked to. But, yeah.
3, you got Bemidji State out
4,
there.
yeah.
Yes, you know, you got some other ones.
I talked to them.
Okay,
So,
but
the other three, no. St. Cloud, Duluth, and Minnesota.
Parker, did you have a choice to go anywhere else? I mean, if you go up there, you have to go there, right? I mean, otherwise they won't let you fly out of it, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what they say. But yeah, I mean, I skated at Providence pretty much my whole youth life, and obviously, once I got the opportunity to go there, I kind of jumped on it. But the coaching staff is great there, and just seeing the players that have come out of there, like Noel Chari, like Jankowski, all these guys are in the NHL. So
They won the title.
2015.
Okay, what, you have to take tests to do this or what?
Oh, just a big fan.
That's pretty good. You got Wilkins. Is Wilkins leaving after this year? Do you know?
I heard he's staying, but, I mean, who knows? NHL contract's pretty tough to turn down, so.
That's what I hear. Josh was a terrific player for the Musketeers too.
Yeah,
So,
it's a pretty good league, so.
do you know Chris Mayotte well?
Yeah, he was one of the guys that recruited both of us, so he was out here a bunch last year before I decided.
Well, that's a pretty good one. Of course, that's goaltender for the Musketeers when they won the Clark Cup. So you know,
Yeah, there's a funny picture of him with the cup. He's got like completely bleached hair.
what color is his hair now?
That's dark.
I think they all bleached their hair at that
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
no, that's pretty funny. He's wearing a cutoff shirt.
There was some goofy.
Yeah.
There were some ugly guys on that team. Let's just say, uglier the better. That means you win better.
Yeah.
So, I guess, but yeah, that's just kind of brings it around. That it's great that Chris is coaching and stuff like that. And is he just a goalie coach, or is he coaching everybody?
I guess he runs the D's.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's you.
yeah.
So do you follow? Do you talk to guys that maybe you played with last year at all?
That are in the tournament.
that are in either tournament or just NCAA altogether.
Oh yeah, we're always talking to Big Mike and Miller. So me, him, Cole, and Fordo have a group message that we always send stuff in every now and then. But it's good to talk to those guys. Clearman, 2 guys. So
Well, Mike needs to get my Gophers to win more. That's where I went to school. So.
really,
Oh no, excuse me. He was going to be
Yeah.
his coach that went to the Gophers.
Yeah.
He's up in St. Cloud State.
Yeah.
He's going to be just fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's my darn Gophers over there.
Yeah.
They're struggling a little bit. That's Sammy Walker, I
I
guess.
know. Yeah, they'll be fine.
You know.
They'll get 50 points next year. So
He's coming back. I assume.
yeah. He's coming back. He's not saying.
Wow, I was just there's a few guys on that team that are pretty darn good up there.
Yeah, they've got a good
As well.
roster.
But in Sample,
Yep. Yeah,
Yes.
he's there too.
yeah, we stole him away from Wisconsin. Anytime you steal a good Wisconsin boy
I know.
away,
Better dead than red.
I liked your attitude. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, Coach Luke's probably listening on the way back right
he's so
now.
mad. I bet now.
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't heard from him yet. So.
He texted me a couple minutes ago.
Did he? That was nice of him. Better dead than red. I think it should be a good motto. There was always some great battles between the Gophers and Wisconsin when I was going to school.
Oh yeah.
What's the mentality? I mean, this is playoff mentality. How do you gear up? Like Sunday, you guys were geared up. It wasn't one of those boring Sunday
I know.
pin drop
Sleeping
games.
bag Sunday.
Yeah,
Sleeping
those
bag
things
Sunday.
stink. You know, this was. How do you keep it up? How do you keep it going?
I just think our bench energy was really good. Guys were really fired up to play, and I mean, whenever we jump out and lead like that, obviously it's easier to keep going and just keep on that streak. So
Score often.
Yeah, I'd say the guys in our locker room too. I mean, we're all pretty tight, and we just want to keep this thing rolling. And we just really want to make the playoffs. So kind of a do or die mentality right now, and we just got to go out there and just keep collecting points.
You win the rest of your games you're in, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, if you
Just win them all.
If you just win all of them, you're going to surpass Fargo too.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
That's your next sights right there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Guys, I appreciate you coming on, and great to see a healthy team, and I can't wait. This weekend's going to be awesome. It should be so fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
That is Parker Ford. That is Luke Johnson. It is the Musketeer Coaches Show.
Wahlburgers.
Wahlburgers?
Wait to get it.
There you go. I assume that's code for something. It's a good place to eat. Anyways,
Great place.
Brought to you by Bob Rose. Point After, also brought to you by Sioux City Ford and Knife River. Fox Sports Radio 620, KMNS, Sioux City.